The crime, copper theft. The criminals show no hesitation ripping out valuable copper pipes and wiring from businesses, city property, and homes just like yours. We wanted to know, once they steal all that copper, how did the thieves get away with turning it into cash? Well, it turns out there is a state law that could deter criminals and help law enforcement, but does it work? And do scrap dealers follow it? Here's Kevin Keene with a 9 on Your Side undercover investigation.
9 on Your Side went undercover to test a state law scrap dealers are supposed to follow when buying metal.
Say, where do I go to sell copper? Right here.
The rules are on the books, but if scrap yards don't follow them, they're useless. Our photographer Alfonso Sagun took this load of copper and metal to sell at a large Tucson recycler. You're watching video from his cell phone, which was in plain sight. We only had enough metal to go to one place. The law requires scrap dealers to first keep track of every sale. Did that happen here? Yes. Staff made a list and snapped pictures.
I need your signature.
Then the final sale. Following the rules, the cashier copied Alfonso's driver license to get his name, address, and age. The recycler also took Alfonso's fingerprint as required by law.
$100 Alfonso got for our box of scrap. That's a lot of money that surprised us. 3 pounds of copper worth $70.
Ultimately, we found the recycler, Sims Metal Management, followed the law. We asked after the investigation, and the company agreed to talk.
In the grand scheme of helping communities deal with theft, like copper theft, what is the role of a metal yard like this one here?
For the metal yard, it's to follow the guidelines and the regulations to ensure the fact that we have everything in place to protect against that.
Michael Philandro says his company spent a lot of money on cameras that document every step of every sale. Staff showed us pics from Alfonso's visit.
So we're kind of watching everything all the way through the process from beginning to end to make sure that we have the right person, same person over and over again.
Sounds like a lot of work.
It is, but it's worth it.
Scrapyards send the pictures and data to a DPS database used by law enforcement agencies throughout the state.
We can now search by a person's name, amount of materials, dollar values of materials been paid out.
If investigators find someone selling a lot of copper, for example,
we'd follow up with that, contact the business who's actually buying the material, learn a little bit more about the customer. If they're actually buying for a business, then that can possibly rule them out as a suspect.
How easy is it to catch a thief then, doing it that way?
It'll get us some suspicious activity. We still have to link a person to a specific crime. We just can't look through the database and say, okay, this person sold this amount of copper wire, therefore they can be deemed a suspect. We actually have to do some more investigation and find a victim.
Officer David Kleinlein says that's the limit of this law and database, even if every scrapyard abides by the rules.
The tool is really effective for what we need it for.
Combating the plague of copper theft, Kleinlein says, will have to come on another front. In Tucson, Kevin Keene, KGUN 9 on Your Side.
TPD suggests other state laws be bolstered to give law enforcement agencies more tools to track down and prosecute copper thieves. The department says the problem is growing so much, a special scrap metal crime unit is actually in the works. That department would, for example, make sure recyclers are reporting their sales, possibly through surveillance, informants, and undercover work.